Hi everyone, FizzFop here, and today we're going to do something a little different. Okay, it's time for us to go on a little journey. This spinner rack was given to me on my birthday by my little sister. She wheels and deals in antiques, and she picked this up from a family farm near Youngstown, Ohio. As the story goes, the seller's grandfather owned a soda shop and retired sometime in the early 1970s, and many items from the shop made their way to the barn and never saw the light of day again. So this means this rack may have been in a barn for 50 to 60 years. And you can see a fair amount of rust on it. And when I got it, it also had what appeared to be chicken poo all over it. And what you're seeing right now is the rack after at least 2 hose downs. See, it's in a sad, sad, sad state. As you can see, the center spoke is only half there and there's no topper for it. It's not the classic Hey Kids comic rack. I actually like this one more. I think this is far more interesting. It has these really funky arms to hold the comics in place on it. And it also has only 16 pockets, which allows you to see the entire front of the cover, which I think is neat for showing off your collection. I hammered a PVC pipe deep down into the central spoke to stabilize it. And I went to my local Habitat store and found a pipe to match the lower spoke. And I put it over top of the PVC pipe. It looks not seamless, but it looks good. I watched a lot of videos on restoring metal items, and the next step in the cleaning process is to go over it with red vinegar. The red vinegar helps break up the rust, and it also, at least in my mind, helps sanitize it. As I was doing that, I found a manufacturer plate on it, and it had a patent number, and we tracked the patent number and discovered that it was patented in 1963. I thought this actually was going to be an older rack like before that, but it turns out it was from the early mid-1960s. After a couple of vinegar washings, I hit it next with sandpaper and a wire brush. I had to be careful. The wire brush sort of cut into the metal, so I used it sparingly. Next, I sprayed it with Rust-Oleum rust remover, and it took most of the rust off. One setback is that anytime the Rust-Oleum got on a spring, the spring would snap. One of the springs snapped and almost hit me in the eye, and after that I was wearing eye protection the whole rest of the time. To clean the Rust-Oleum, I hit it with general purpose cleaner. Here you can sort of see the mechanics of how the arms work with the springs. Now all the springs were rusted and there was no way I could put them back on the rack at this point, so I had to replace them. Now to clean the Rust-Oleum, I hit it with general purpose cleaner. And by the way, you always want to wear gloves when you're working with Rust-Oleum. It burns a little if it gets on your skin. Next, I went over everything with mineral spirits. This made the metal shine. It looked great. However, after a day or two, these little black spots started appearing all over the rack. And this is the rust starting to reoxidize. This means the rust is in the metal, and the only way I can stop it is to paint it. And here you can see some more examples of the little black dots. That's the rust coming back. Not good. There's a ball bearing ring at the bottom of the shelves that allows it to spin. I cleaned out that ancient grease and replaced it with modern synthetic grease, and now it glides silently. And at this point also I had to see what it would look like with some comic books on it. And I decided I was going to paint it, so the next step was to take the shelves off. And before painting it, I had to make sure every crevice was clean. And the first step of painting is the primer, which is white. And the primer suffocates the rust and prevents it from deteriorating further. There it is drying in my kitchen. I was debating on what color to make it, but after seeing it with the white primer, I decided I had to go back with the classic chrome look. So to get the chrome look, you start with a coat of black spray paint. None of the sources I viewed mentioned why you had to do a black base coat for chrome paint, but as I went along, I realized the black paint sort of hides the missing spots in the chrome paint, and it adds to the contours of the wire, or it adds to the contours of the shape. So the black paint coat is very important to the chrome painting process. Here I am with the chrome spray paint. The key to a good chrome paint job is to go slow and lightly. Altogether, to do this, it took me 5 coats to get everything covered. I did some research, and as chrome paint goes, the biggest bang for your buck is Krylon's premium metallic chrome paint. I actually did some test runs, bought some different paints and did some test runs. There's a lot of chrome paint out there, but this Krylon paint got the highest ratings. It only comes in 8-ounce cans, and I found it at Hobby Lobby for $5.99, which was great, but I could only find 2 cans of it at 2 different stores. And for some reason, online, this paint was much more expensive, and I did the penny-wise, dollar-stupid thing and drove all over town looking for it. Wasted a tank of gas and almost an entire Saturday, and it was nowhere to be found. I had to order it online and pay almost 3 times what I got it for at Hobby Lobby. And altogether, it took about 3 cans to finish. Now it's time to put the whole thing back together. Because it's so large, I decided to reassemble it in the room it was going in, so welcome to my comic book room. Can't really see much from this angle. The shelves slide in through the bottom. The shelves are held up by simple lacing wire. That's something you don't see in modern anything anymore. I used 25-pound wire on each corner. I also had to buy a cheap pair of lacing pliers that didn't work properly, so I had to do the twisting part manually. There I snip it and snip it again and bend it over. It's still got a jaggy edge there, but hopefully nobody will ever cut themselves on it. Okay, so now that we got the shelves back together, we can stick the spoke back into it. Here we go. We still don't have a topper, so I found a Hey Kids topper on eBay, but the guy wants $300 for it, and I said, no way can I afford that. So I decided I'm going to make my own. I'm a Batman guy, and the rack is from the 1960s, so I decided I should do something in tune with that. I printed off vintage Batman logos and DC Comics logos on high-quality glossy paper. I cut them out, and the plan is to put them in resin. I've never done resin before, but I know people who have, and they gave me some great pointers on what to do. I bought a cheap resin kit at Hobby Lobby. I used restaurant carry-out containers as molds. I don't know if you've ever done resin, but you mix the chemicals together and make sure it's well mixed when you pour it, and then you let it sit for a couple days and make sure it's well ventilated because it does create some fumes in there. After it dried, it popped right out. So after the resin, this is what I've got. A big plastic chunk with the Batman logo. And to finish it off, I Velcroed it and the logos to a small piece of pipe that fits over top of the PVC shaft, and voila! Now let's take a good look at it and the finished result. Ain't that sweet? Makes my comic book room look very impressive. I think I'm going to redo the resin logo though. Make something more impressive. This is just one-sided. I should make something that's 4-sided. Maybe I'll make a video about that when I do it. Well, now's a great time to wrap things up. I want to say thank you for watching. Please remember to hit the like button, subscribe, and well, now's a great time to wrap things up. I want to say thank you for watching. Please leave a I can't remember. I'm drawing a blank. I suck at this. I don't know why I'm trying to do this. Well, it's about time for me to call it a day, so it's time to wrap things up. I want to thank you for watching. Please remember to hit the like button, subscribe, and leave comments down below. Why am I doing this? I don't know. Alright, well, that's it. I'm calling it quits. Hope to see you again real soon. Until next time, stay super, everyone. Bye. Oh, I spun it too hard. And now it's freaking wobbling. It wasn't wobbling before.